That's right, you beautiful people. Today is a very special day, not only because I posted a YouTube video, but also because today I'm training planche, and I'm taking you guys along with me to go do my planche workout. I'm gonna tell you guys everything that I personally did that helped me achieve one of my biggest goals, which was the straddle planche. Now, to make this video even spicier, I'm not gonna just train in my backyard. You guys have seen my backyard one too many times. So we're actually gonna go out to a park and then do my little planche workout there. That way you guys can see that I do go outside and, you know, I do have a life. Let's go. All right, microphone cruise is back. We got a nice little spot. Should be pretty flat for my planche. I've got no complaints. Little disclaimer, I'm no planche expert. However, I am someone who has been training calisthenics for over 3 years, and I have watched many tutorials and I've tried learning the straddle planche in many different ways and methods. It's just all from my own personal experience, but I don't claim to be some planche specialist or expert. I'm just gonna tell you everything I just wished I saw in a video when I was trying to learn it, and it could have saved me many months of training, many months of headaches and stuff like that. Just spewing all my knowledge, sharing it with you guys. Okay, so the first thing that I genuinely and truly and wholeheartedly suggest, and that is don't train the planche too soon. Too often do I see these people commenting or DMing me, I just started calisthenics and I want to start learning the planche. What are the best exercises that I can do? And first off, I truly appreciate you guys coming to me to ask for calisthenics help. I think it's so important to first build a very solid and strong foundation of body weight strength before you start learning the planche. For me personally, I didn't start directly training the planche until like a year to a year and a half is when I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to start learning planche. And the cool thing about it is, since I started so late, I actually got a pretty big head start, because since I spent so much time in like my handstand and doing pseudo planche push-ups, I already had like a 10+ second tucked planche without ever really training it. You could very easily hurt yourself if you progress too quickly. It's a lot of stress on your biceps and your shoulders, so I really don't want you guys to injure yourself. Give it at least 8-ish months of actually training. More is always better, but you're really eager, spend at least 8 months of just building a super solid foundation, and then you can start learning the planche directly. Some grandma just said something to me, and you know those times where like a senior citizen just said something you just don't understand it at all, but you just laugh? Yeah, it just happened. All right, let's go for a little negative here. The ground is a little uneven, but we make do. It's okay. Oh, my strength is not fully there today. That's okay. Oh. Okay, so the second tip I gotta give you guys, and that is you have to mentally prepare yourself for this journey to take a long time. You see those videos on the internet of like these 13-year-old kids that learned it in like 2 months? That's such an anomaly. That's so rare. Don't even bother thinking about that stuff. And it also, if you just know that it's going to take a long time, you won't be as discouraged when you see other people and they get it before you. Everyone learns it at different times. Doesn't really matter when you do it. As long as you're consistently progressing, you know, you're going to get it eventually. A bunch of other people that I followed on Instagram, we pretty much all started around the same time. Some of them just learned it so much faster than me, and it genuinely really discouraged me. I would be like texting my girlfriend, be like, is it even worth it? Like, people are learning it so much faster. I must be doing something wrong. Another person would learn the straddle planche, and I'll be like, bro, I'm not even like, I can't even hold it for like 2 seconds. How is this possible? If being discouraged and letting other people's success, if it stopped me from actually training, I would have never learned it. Even though it took a long time, I still got it. Trust me, I was there. It's just not it's just not clicking for you. Keep pushing at it, because whoa, 20 years old and I just got a voice crack. And if you keep watching this video, you'll probably learn it even faster. All right, let's get a couple handstand push-ups in here. You know, my planche didn't feel too strong, but my handstand push-ups feel fucking amazing. Woo! All right, so this third tip I'm gonna try and breeze through because this is not really the video for that. It's a bit too technical, and you know me, I'm not a very smart guy. And it's pretty much just overlooking the importance of correct form when trying to learn and execute the planche. I kind of talked about this in my previous video where I talked about the 7 things I wish I knew before starting calisthenics, which is a banger video. Make sure you watch that. So when I was first doing it, the only thing I cared about was leaning forward and trying to get my legs up. Like I would just try and go like this when trying to learn the planche, which is the most idiotic thing ever. Don't know why I overlook doing it with proper form. Saves you time, it works the right muscles, makes the skill a lot easier. The 3 most important cues when going into the planche that I just overlook would be the protraction, the depression, and the posterior pelvic tilt. You've probably heard those a bunch. Protraction, you just push your shoulder blades out, and then depression, you're pulling your shoulder blades away from your ears, and your pelvic tilt, instead of popping your butt out like an Instagram model, pretend like you're making love to the air. You're gonna try and round your pelvis there. Put those 3 things together. Don't ask me why I thought proper form was for losers. Those losers, the proper form, they're the smart ones. They're the ones that are doing it properly. It looks a lot better. That's just something my dumb ass just overlooked. You know, it's honestly not too bad of a workout today, but it's cool to have, like, you know, little change of scenery to work out. I am so used to just training in my room and in my backyard, so it's cool to just train somewhere else. Not too many people either. Not like I really care. They don't know what a planche is. They think I'm just speaking gibberish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of, if not the biggest thing that definitely hurt and stunted my progression with my straddle planche, and that is pretty much switching up your strategy or your methods towards the straddle planche way too often. Stop switching it so often. I did it so many times. I did high intensity, low volume. I did low intensity, high volume. I focused solely on like static holds. Let me just visually represent to you guys what on earth I was doing. This is me. I was going up. I was progressing. I was like, oh, I'm not really making too much progress. Let me just switch up my workout. Bam, and then I'm progressing with that way of training. I'm like, oh, I'm not really seeing too much. Bam, switch it again. So I am like slowly getting stronger. And also later I'll give you guys the top 5 exercises that pretty much I revolved my whole workout around and got insane progress. Stick to one method of training. If it's absolutely dog shit and it's not helping you progress, then yeah, you gotta switch it up. It's just not working for you. But if you're seeing progress, it's working. If there's one thing that you're gonna take from this video, please make it this. Stop switching up your training methods and your workouts. I have talked enough about this point. Let's continue with this workout. The moment you've all been waiting for, probably the most important part of the video. It is so important that I actually had to stand up and put my tripod up. So I'm gonna give you guys the 5 most important exercises that you need to revolve your workouts around. These are the 5 that are just mind-bogglingly good. They're S tier. They're the creme of the crop. They are just top tier stuff. So the first exercise, this one's pretty basic, but it is just doing lower progression holds. So if you can do like an advanced tuck planche, make sure you still work on your tuck planche holds and your planche leans. Just make sure you're doing the lower progression hold that you're trying to go for, and just hold that for time. It will just build a lot of volume, and it's just definitely something you want to maintain in your workouts. Numero 2, these are not really in any specific order. It's going to be handstand push-ups. Everyone that I've talked to that can do a full planche or straddle planche, what they all have in common is that they're really good at doing handstand push-ups because the muscle groups needed for the handstand push-up and the planche are very similar. Just having incredibly strong shoulders easily and directly transfer towards your planche. Numero 3, and that is going to be band assisted progression holds. This one is definitely a newer one for me. Did not know about this for a very long time. Using a resistance band to hold a higher progression that you can actually hold without a resistance band is really cool, and it will definitely teach your body the proper form, and it's just really cool to just float around and do cool skills. Number 4, second to last, is going to be attempts. No matter what progression you are at, make sure you're incorporating some sort of attempts, which are holds that are under 4 seconds in the progression. Use a little example here. If you're at a tucked planche, doing an advanced tucked planche for under 5 seconds would be called an attempt, because you're not fully doing the whole movement, and just doing those attempts will get you closer, because how else are you going to learn the movement if you don't do it? So make sure you incorporate some attempts into your workout. And number 5, this one's a little bit of a tricky one because I don't really recommend it until like a very late stage in your planche. journey, and that's going to be straddle negatives. So if you want to learn the straddle planche, straddle negatives I thought were really good. Like the majority of the time, I just wasn't strong enough to do like a good planche negative, and it would just be a waste of my time. I don't really recommend a straddle planche negative until you can actually hold an advanced tucked for like at least 9 to 10 seconds. Because if you're going to a handstand and you just fall instantly down, you're really not building a lot of strength. I don't really find it like worth your time to just fall down. And then when I got stronger, came back to the straddle planche negatives, they were really good, but they do require, you know, a very high level of strength to begin with to actually make your bang for your buck. So with these 5 exercises in mind, what I want you guys to do, if you cannot do one of these exercises, like let's say handstand push-ups, if you can't do that yet, do a lower progression, but maintain the same exercise idea. But this is what I personally did. Those 5 exercises that I just told you, I made a high intensity, low volume planche workout, and that incorporated the attempts, the handstand push-ups, and the lower progressions, and the band assisted. So 4 of the 5 exercises. And on a lower intensity, higher volume, I incorporated the negatives as well as the other. But I just swapped the attempts to negatives. So that's pretty much what I did. On one day, I do high intensity, low volume, and then 2 other days of the week, I do low intensity, high volume. And then that's how I learned the straddle planche. It took me quite a few months, but I stuck to that one program because I saw massive progress with it. The workout here is done. I'm posted up. Let's go home and eat because your boy's hungry. Your boy's... Alright, okay. Mango smoothie, quesadillas for a little post-workout. I've given you guys all the knowledge that I can give you towards the straddle planche. I didn't want it to be like some boring, you know, tutorial that you've probably seen before, so I really tried to give you some tips that are not really talked about very often. Hope you guys enjoyed. But if you haven't already, you should totally check out my full day of eating. Click that right here. I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Peace out. Mate, this is Cruz testing the mic. 1, 2, 3, 3. With a dash of 4.